Hey, Dr. Dave here, the Coffee Scholar. I was just now reading the latest Entrepreneur magazine. Entrepreneur, let's see, yeah, this is the latest, November, December. And guess what? They have the franchise section in the back. They usually do have that, but this time there was a little section on coffee franchises. Now, I know that there are tons of potential coffee franchises out there. Even so, not everybody likes the franchise route, so they'll just kind of start up their own. And where I live in upstate South Carolina, there's one called Coyote Coffee. And I think they've got 3 stores. And so they've kind of built their own multiple locations. So you can do that. But what I wanted to do was actually tell you a couple of these coffee franchises it might be worth checking out. So you know what? I'm just going to go down the list here, and I'm going to only focus on ones that have coffee with it. I mean, there's things in here from tea, smoothies, tap houses, all kinds of stuff like that. But let's focus on the coffee franchises here at the Coffee Scholar. So here we go. Aroma Joe's, coffee, espresso, tea, energy drinks, baked goods. Sounds like a regular coffee shop. Startup cost there. Startup cost for Aroma Joe's. It starts at $500,000. All right, so we've got Badass Coffee of Hawaii, and I'm thinking this is a donkey theme, and so if it is, that's a Bible word I was just now using, but that's that one. Hawaiian coffees. Coffee blends, teas, blended drinks, food. So, it's still the same offerings. I kind of like that one, though, because I like things with good mascots. And let's see. Startup cost here starts around $500,000 as well. Let's see what else we've got. We've got Bamboo, which this isn't spelled like the plant. It's spelled B-A-M-B-U. And so this is Vietnamese dessert drinks and coffee drinks. And so it focuses on a lot of beverages, not just coffee. I'm guessing this one is not heavy on the coffee, but they do have coffee. And I don't know. Between me and you, I think coffee should be the main beverage offered. And so maybe you don't want to do Bamboo. If you do, though, lower startup cost. Starts at $155K to get a franchise there. All right, here's one. Beans and Brews. I'm hoping they're only talking about coffee beans because I'm not sure, unless it's cowboy themed, how well beans are going to work with the coffee. So let's just assume the best. And so Beans and Brews, coffee, tea, specialty drinks, and food. Startup cost around $500,000. Let's see, Biggby Coffee. And a lot of these I have never heard of. Not a lot of these near me. Where I live, aside from the local franchise or local coffee houses, we pretty much just have Dunkin'. We've got lots of Starbucks like normal because they're like Dollar Generals. They pop up everywhere. There aren't many other coffee places near me that aren't, single establishments. I've not heard of many of these. All right, so Biggby, back to Biggby. And it's spelled with 2 G's. B-I-G-G-B-Y, Biggby Coffee. Specialty coffee, tea, smoothies, baked goods. Startup cost at $246K. So a little better. Let's look here. City Brew Tours. Okay, no, that's not coffee brew. That's craft brewery. Basically pub hopping tours. And so we won't focus on that because it's not as important as coffee. Let's see what else we have. Of course, Dunkin' is on here. Now, wild guess. Go ahead and tell me your wild guess how much you think it costs to start up a Dunkin' franchise. Coffee, donuts, baked goods. All right, no guesses? If you guessed slightly less than $500,000, so it's cheaper than some of these other startups. And I got to be honest with you, if I was going to start up a place just to make money and I had limited funds, Dunkin', as opposed to some of these others, it's a much greater brand awareness and cheaper than some of the others. So, like this next one I'm getting ready to tell you is actually over $500,000. Elianos Coffee. Let me spell this for you. E-L-L-I-A-N-O-S. Elianos Coffee, specialty coffee and smoothies. Startup cost $612,000. Let's look here. We've got some bubble tea things. Self-pour beer. It's interesting. All right, we've got H-T-O. Instead of H2O, it's H-T-O. It's the letter H, T-E-A, and then a capital O. I mention that only because it does say coffee, but it's obviously focusing on the tea, not the most important beverage around. Let's see, Human Bean specialty coffee. So far, this is the only one that only mentions coffee, not energy drinks, smoothies, that kind of thing. Human Bean specialty coffee, startup cost just over $500,000. And here's one called Kale Me Crazy. I mean, I don't mind kale when it's mixed up in a smoothie, but I don't know if I would name a restaurant after it, you know? That would frighten me away, possibly. All right, let's see. I'm looking. There's actually several on here that are franchises for pub tours, bar tours, that kind of thing. That's interesting. Nobody's doing one of those with coffee. They should. I think it'd be pretty interesting to hop on one of those party bike things, you know, where you have like 10 people pedaling the bike, and just hit up 10 different coffee franchises, get a big coffee at each one, some espresso at each one, and end the day with a few thousand milligrams of caffeine in your blood system. That would be pretty good. You'd be moving faster than you ever thought possible. All right, we've got PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. Coffee, tea, pastries, sandwiches, startup cost $406,000. That was PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. Let's look here. What else do we have? The Rush Coffee. This one's different. This is a mobile coffee, tea, smoothies, Italian sodas, baked goods, but it's mobile. And so I'm assuming it is a food truck. Although the startup costs are really low considering it might be a food truck. I don't really know for sure. $47,000 for startup costs. Maybe it's that cheap if you already have the truck. Who knows? But that is the Rush Coffee. All right, let's look on the back here. Oh, here's a neat name. Scooter's Coffee. Coffee, espresso, smoothies. Startup costs. Ooh, for Scooter's Coffee, the startup costs begin at $797,000. Let's see here. I'm looking quite a few bubble tea places. Wow, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I like to eat there a lot. I'm only mentioning it because I see it on the list here, and they have some amazing sandwiches and some really good smoothies. Those startup costs are only $296,000. Some great brand awareness there as well. All right, here's another coffee one, the Urban Bean. That's a pretty good one for a larger town. It wouldn't work in the tiny small town that I live in, though. The Urban Bean, coffee, beverages, snacks, meals, startup costs, $261,000. Let's see what else we have. Ziggy's Coffee. Excuse me. Ziggy's Coffee. Let me spell this one for you. It is not spelled like Ziggy as in Ziggy Marley. It is Ziggi. Ziggy's Coffee, specialty drinks, energy drinks, blah, blah, blah. Startup cost $466,000. And that is all. I know there are a lot of other coffee franchises. That's all that's on the list here that was in this month's Entrepreneur Magazine. Personally, for that amount of startup costs, I mean, you have to realize if you're getting into a franchise, what you're buying. What are the benefits of getting into a franchise? What's the brand awareness? How much will they support you, train you? Are you getting steep discounts on the equipment, things like that? And so just, go into it eyes wide open. I mean, in my little town right here, we had a coffee shop and I loved it. Got to know the people there. I would go there every Wednesday. I would pick up my son at school. We would go there every Wednesday and spend a few hours just working, doing homework, whatever. And then it went out of business. Now, that's a bad thing. Here's the good thing for you, though, is that you could possibly find a coffee shop, an indie coffee shop going out of business, and just buy it outright. I mean, you could still rename it, rebrand it, redo everything, but you're buying a location, you're buying some equipment already in there, you're buying the tables, chairs. People already know the coffee shop's there. And so if you're thinking about opening up a coffee shop, you've got to consider all this and decide what's the best thing for you with the money you have available or the money that you have access to with loans or investors or things of that nature. So I hope I gave you a couple of neat ideas for franchises if that's what you're looking for. Tell you what, though, if you are opening a coffee shop or thinking about it or anything like that, feel free to tell me in the comments. Tell me where it's at. Anytime I'm traveling, I hit up as many coffee shops as I can. I wasn't joking about the few thousand milligrams of caffeine because I've probably done that multiple times, especially in Portland. If any of you have ever done a coffee crawl in Portland, Oregon, man, you have to do multiple days. Not because of the caffeine content, but just because you don't have time to get to all of them. So if you're opening up a shop or something, put the name, the location, everything. Feel free to put your website link down there in the comments. And I'll add it to my list of places I will visit if I'm anywhere near you when I'm doing a lecture or climbing a mountain, whatever takes me there. All right, this is Dr. David Powers, the Coffee Scholar, signing out. Hope you enjoyed the video.